I can check in with my gut. Do you want to do this? No. Do you want to do that? Yeah. When you're a baby, that's what you do.
Right.
When you're a baby, still connected, that's what you do, right? It's not complicated.
Welcome to the Zen Den, a podcast designed to help you discover your authentic inner peace. These episodes are intended for everyone, regardless of their background. We explore the question, how can we find inner peace in today's world? Together, let's awaken our higher consciousness and allow our individual truths to shine. It's time to learn how to live in harmony. Your host, Maggie Calder, a former Buddhist nun monk who studied directly with respected spiritual masters, shares her wisdom on the infinite possibilities of life. Now, here's Maggie with today's episode of the Zen Den.
Welcome to the Zen Den, and I have the pleasure of being here with Dr. Robin Johnson. Thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure.
It's always good to see you,
Oh
Maggie.
my God, I'm so happy that you made the time to be with us because I know a little bit of your story and it will really support our listeners. Maybe you can share a little bit about your background and you, and just let our listeners know a little bit how special you are.
Oh, I'm not special so much because of my background and what people will typically ask. And I think it's easier because I have, in some ways, a fairly complicated background to really just move into some of the questions and some of the things we want to talk about.
Okay.
What I've noticed because of who I am and what I've done and all of that is that sometimes that gets in the way of people getting that, yeah, I'm just like the rest of us, trying to make it work.
So can you share a little bit about who you are and some of the beautiful things you've done?
I'm a native of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And my family has been in the U.S. for about 400 years.
Wow.
So the family roots are Virginia in terms of traceable within the U.S. But obviously you can see from my face that I have a mixture of backgrounds. I did one of those DNA tests, and according to them, there are 17 different ethnic groups. So I like to think of myself as a person of the planet Earth.
That's so great.
And my family roots, I'm 70 years old. I grew up in a time that was very intense within the U.S., especially being in Washington, D.C. And I was at the March on Washington. For instance, my family was active in the civil rights movement in the States. And I'm mentioning these things because when we talk a little bit more about my current challenges, you can see that it goes back really for all of my life, some of these issues. And my mother in particular had a very strong commitment to working in the community, to making things better, to inclusion, and to just try to make things work.
Right.
So I started, even when I was in school, before I went off to university, I was active in trying to make things work in my community and so forth. So I've been involved in civil rights, equity, inclusion, diversity, fairness. That's what I like to think of it. Yeah. And one of my friends teases me and says, yeah, you really do want world peace. And I do. I want it internally, and I actually want it for our interactions with each other. So I've been doing that for decades, my life's work. That said, that's taken me around the world. So I've lived or worked or traveled to about 70 countries, speak a number of languages. I have a platinum education, some people would say, because education I saw as the path out of the hood. And so I went off to Ivy League schools in the States, Brown University undergrad for international relations and world history. And then I worked in international finance, actually, for a decade. And then I went back to graduate school, shifting from numbers to people. And I went to Harvard that time, where I have a degree, a PhD I've earned. I don't say I have, I say I earned, because it was blood, sweat, and tears in a program in organizational behavior, which is really about applying psychology and sociology to problems of having people live and work well together. I've always had this process of learning things and sharing things. Learning, testing, sharing. Learning, testing, sharing. That's always been my style. And I've always been a synthesizer of the logical and the intuitive and the heart. I always wanted to synthesize all of those things in all the work I've done.
You're a natural Zen Den girl.
That's why I'm attracted to spending time with you, Maggie.
It takes courage to be there. It really does. So I honor you for that courage.
And my dissertation was on work-life balance. And so as part of my work, even when I was a professor and so forth, I always did something creative and something that would help me be expressive and that was intuitive. So for me, that was dance. So I actually do world ethnic dance because I love music and dancing.
Powerful.
Yeah. So when you think about what has kept me balanced, sane, been a source of peace, my dance and movement has really been powerful for me. So I found with the busyness of doing the teaching and the corporate work that it's very easy to squeeze out those things that actually give you joy. So for managing my current situation and so forth, the movement, the dance, the connecting to my own inner rhythm has been incredibly powerful.
Wow.
And the class that I started doing with you was really very impactful because as I shifted from working full-time doing my leadership development work, that turning dance into my private spiritual practice as opposed to teaching it. So I did have a tendency, I would learn and I would share. So that's how I ended up developing that dance practice. But then it was important for me to journey inside when I got into the really challenging time. So that process of turning the movement into internally and letting my body say how it wants to move was extremely powerful and balancing, in part because the academic training is so much up here in the head. I felt in so many ways, and I think many other people feel that way, that I was split because I was rewarded and promoted and admired for my brain power because that's what you do when you're a professor, right?
What it is, yeah.
Yes, I had a lot of compassion too. People always talked about you have heart and mind, but in terms of my own personal grounding, I really needed to slow down and connect to my own personal rhythm, to my gut, to my Kundalini
that's
energy. You know what I mean?
Very powerful place.
And that part of me was more, it was intuitive. People would ask, do you want to do this? And I'd say no. And they'd say, do you want to think about that some more? You see what I mean? Because my gut always knew.
Yeah.
My gut is so intelligent. The body is so intelligent.
Yep.
But I was trained, like so many, to go straight to the head, right? So the dancing, the embodied meditative movement as a personal spiritual practice, intentional spiritual practice has been a major way to
I'm so happy.
Zone.
I'm so happy to hear that. I do a class called Movement Meditation, and this is what Dr. Robin's talking about. At the Zen Den here, we want to really have a discussion on some difficulties in our lives today and how we move out of that into our Zen state. And what difficulties do you feel you have today in your life?
At the moment, life is good. And it's good in part because of some of the practices that I was just talking about. One of them, which is the meditative movement, the spiritual movement. In many ways, I mentioned I'm from the States, and I am representative of a group of people that's currently feeling a little bit challenged because I'm Black, female, queer, Harvard, PhD, diversity, equity, inclusion, really committed to people who take care of the most vulnerable among us, to community that is inclusive. It's been challenging because my family roots are from the States, at least for the last 400 years or so. And so I am an American, a USer, I like to say. But anyway, I'm from there. And so that's home in the geographical sense in many ways.
Right.
And yet feeling a little bit pushed out, unappreciated, not wanted, at risk. So it's been challenging to then say, where is home really? Is home a physical space?
Right.
And is home an inner space, inner place?
Yes.
Remembering to never leave this home is really important.
Wow, great point. Because I talk a lot about how the body is our really, truly our only home, and that we have full control for the most part of our bodies and our minds, and how we think and how we perceive things affect the physical form.
No, for sure.
So during this time, and is quite challenging, and I can hear what you're saying and feel it in my heart, to move from such a feeling like you just, where this is my home, what's going on with my home type of thing. And then this great insight that you have from all your wisdom is your first home is really deep within. Okay, great. So in moving deep within, in that deep within state, what did that, how did you get there? What did you find? And what seeded you to turn and go, wait, let me look within?
A few things, right? One that comes to mind is I actually work with a system that's called human design. Now, all of my life, I have worked with both the esoteric and the exoteric. So as a trained psychologist, I'm used to all these assessments. And what I notice is that some of the esoteric traditions like astrology, numerology, tarot, human design, they actually provide a lot of the same insights because these are ancient teachings that provide information about the human condition. And in human design, my design is this, again, synthesized system of astrology, the I Ching from China, the chakras from India.
Know them well.
So in human design, I have the design of a person who has a bit of a split from, there's my gut, which is my vitality energy center. And my heart, the center of direction, right? Those are connected up with the channel of rhythm of all things, right? Okay. But then there's a little bit of split between my throat, which is what I talk about, think about, and communicate, and my mind.
Okay.
And this one is unconscious, and this is conscious. This unconscious is basically part of what the society says. Don't listen to that. You can't trust your heart, your intuition. You really need to do what's rational. You need to think, this is where you need to spend your energy.
For the listeners, they might not be watching the video so much. But you're pointing into the stomach area.
Exactly. I'm pointing into the gut area. I call it the gut.
Okay.
Because what has happened, and human design was so important for that,
Okay.
to get that understanding of that split that I have been living in so many ways in my life,
Okay.
where I have been overvaluing and overutilizing the talker and the thinker, and undervaluing and underutilizing the body wisdom coming from the sacral or the gut chakra.
That intuition or
that deep embodied knowing.
Okay.
All right. Especially in part because of how I was listening a lot.
Okay.
And human design talks about this.
I want to just slow down here because this is really good. I want to talk more about what you're talking about, the mind and this gut feeling.
That's right.
So what moved you? Because you have a lot of mind with your education, your background, being a doctor, so forth and so on. Love it. Great. And thank you. And what did you get within yourself, or how did you get within yourself to go, wait a minute, my gut feeling knows stuff and I'm not paying attention to that?
Actually, my gut knew things, but what would happen is that if my mind would override the gut, often based on what other people outside of me would say.
So let's slow down.
That.
This is very good what you're saying. Slowing down. You're saying that you had all this knowledge and it was linked to what others would say. It had some kind of relationship to that, but your gut feeling was only you. Is that what it is? It didn't have other influences?
Well, right. Well, what the gut feeling I've come to believe is the essential me. It's the wise me. It's the connected to the universe me. It's the closest to source me.
When you make decisions from that, how do you feel?
Not only do I feel so much better when I make decisions from there, and the decisions from there, by the way, are super simple. They're just yes or no. This lights you up or it doesn't. They're not complicated. I talk about peace. Imagine that all of a sudden I can check in with my gut. Do you want to do this? No. Do you want to do that? Yeah. When you're a baby, that's what you do.
Right.
When you're a baby, still connected, that's what you do, right? It's not complicated. And so the mind is better used in service of how to work with the society after you already know who you are and what you want.
So could I say...
By the way, that's a quote from the Tao. At the center of your being, you know who you are and you know what you want. So the task is to reconnect back to the center of your being.
Okay. So in reconnecting to the center of your being, there's a feeling of equilibrium. Is there
peace? Peace. But because the gut wisdom, in my experience, again, human design is what encouraged me to at least experiment. I told you I have to experiment. I am a scientist that way. I not only learn something, but I got to try it. So I got to learn it and try it and see did it work. So when I go in there and I check, and then I move from that place of knowing, then both the timing is accurate. And it's like the universe is lined up to support me in the action that is consistent with gut wisdom.
Okay.
For me, this isn't necessarily for everyone.
No, I understand.
For me, this is how.
So let's stay there. So the timing and it's consistent.
How do you use energy for it?
How do you use the mind to support that? Or how do you work with the mind with your intuitive gut feeling?
So there are two things, right? So first of all, when the gut says yes, the way the gut says yes is by providing me with energy. It provides me with energy to do. It generates energy, right? So it makes it much easier for me to sustain my effort towards a particular goal. It helps me to stay the course when things are plateaued or when I'm running into challenges. Some of the challenges are other people's reactions because the gut says both yes and no. I was a bit of a people pleaser, like many people. And a lot of times that's what I would do is I'd override the gut because I wanted to please people.
Right.
Or I would override the gut because my head said that can't happen.
Right.
So I would now instead of listening to the gut, I'd listen to a story that disempowered me. Right?
Okay.
That's what happens. Now, meditation training, I went to meditation boot camp, right? I did Vipassana, the 10-day silent retreat. So I know I have a busy mind.
Yeah.
I do know I have a busy mind.
I discovered that by 4 years of being a nun monk.
Thank you. So I know that thoughts come and go.
Oh, yeah.
And that the challenge is really attaching to them and acting from them. So in my case, staying in the mind just magnifies my confusion. So by dropping, by slowing down, by meditating and checking in with my gut. So I'm still using meditation, but I'm shifting the energy of the attention away from the head down to the core. So that made such a major difference. And then I can go back to the head to try to strategize about how to interact with the world.
Right. What I notice in the head or the mind, it's all about the past or the future.
It's not the present.
But the intuitive gut feeling that we're talking about is about the here and now.
And for somebody like me, who's highly mental, right, at least has a lot of habits, so very Virgo, right? Yeah, it's confusing, it's distracting, and I'm not on purpose.
So when you find yourself confused, distracted, not on purpose, do you have a conscious awareness, oh, I'm in my mind too much, let's go to my gut, let's go to that intuitive gut feeling?
Yes, but I have found for me, again, I've got the channel of rhythm, I found for me that having a regular practice so that I check in pretty much every day. And so then...
What does that mean, you check in? How do you check in?
I sit. I might listen to some music.
Okay.
Or I might have just listened to the rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, keep it simple.
I just keep it simple. Then breathe.
Yes.
So I would go from, in particular, I pay attention to breathing from the perineum all the way up to the crown and back. I might do a body scan in that process, just checking in. That's what I call
a body
checking.
Scan is where you have that mind's eye and you scan through the body. And are you looking
from head to toe and from toe to head?
And you're looking for any limitations?
I'm looking for imitations or sense of blockage, or whatever.
A nervousness or an emotional feeling.
And then I breathe love to it, to any places where that might be there.
So you consciously use your mind now, and you bring it with this gut feeling, showing you that this energy may need a little bit of love, or I am safe, or I'm secure, all is well.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Have you heard of oponopono?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll sometimes do oponopono. So, and I will sometimes do oponopono with my meditative movement.
Yeah.
So the meditative movement, and this is what I do in the morning, every morning, pretty much, right? I have a song or of something. I have a couple that I really like. And then as my body's moving, I may say, Pono has those 4 parts. I accept full responsibility for any ways I may have intentionally or unintentionally harmed myself or another.
Nice.
So that's my version of I'm sorry. I don't like to say I am sorry because I don't like the I am on sorry. Right? I don't like using the I am. That's me because.
And what Robin's talking about here is the Ho'oponopono prayer or insight is I am sorry, and it's a whole series.
Right.
But you're shaping it to the word.
I shape it. So the classic is I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you, thank you, or thank you, I love you, depending on the person. So it's those 4 statements. But mine, while I'm moving through, letting the energy move through, is I accept full responsibility for any ways I may have intentionally or unintentionally harmed myself or another.
Right.
That's the version of I'm sorry. And then I say, please forgive me. And then I also say, I forgive myself.
Nice.
I always include me.
So
Right.
lovely to forgive ourselves.
We have
We are
to.
infinite beings.
And especially because I'm a recovering perfectionist, I really always have to forgive myself for something I thought I didn't do right. Okay.
I know that one.
So I forgive myself. And then the third one is thank you. So then I just express gratitude.
Right.
I just notice, again, if I'm grateful for being on the planet, whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to be any specific thing. I'm just grateful for people in my life, including you, for instance.
Oh, thank you.
And then,
You too.
yeah. And then I love you. I love the planet. I love me. I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Oh, that's beautiful. I know in myself when I work with the brain, and the brain rewires constantly every second. Now it's always whatever you're feeding your brain, it will receive that. And so what you're really saying is you're rewiring your brain.
Yeah, I'm telling an empowering story in my life. The story I'm living, the narrative I'm living is one that empowers me rather than victimizes me. And so many of us swing in the victim swing, right? And we stay in things happening to us, people doing things to us. So that version of Ponopono, especially when I am embodying it, you know what I mean? So for me, that matters. And people can't see if they're not watching the video, but I'm constantly moving as I'm talking to you because that's part of what I do. Yeah. So that Ponopono practice is part of my daily practice. So I typically start with silence and the breathing. And then I go into I do a mantra.
Yes.
I do a Gayatri.
Okay.
And which is whatever. It's a kind of a universal prayer. And then I do a movement meditation that includes the Ponopono.
Right.
And then I sit down.
Yeah.
And I rock. I just rock.
It's like you're rocking yourself and soothing yourself.
Soothing myself.
Yes. And so really, if I'm hearing this right, what I'm finding is your Zen state, your inner peace, is practices that you do to really connect in from the head to the intuitive gut feeling. And then
I would say from the gut to the head, but all right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I connect first to the gut.
Gut. Yeah.
Because for me, the gut is the core. That's for me.
Right.
That's where it is.
And with all your wisdom and knowledge and education, if you knew that this important gut was well in that time when you were educating, how would you find how you received that information at Harvard or wherever?
My gut has been speaking to me all my life. Harvard was really challenging. And there were times, for instance, when I was there, when I would be curled up in a little fetal ball because my gut was saying, this is so not right for you. This is so harmful. And the socialization process involved with the training I went through to earn that PhD was like going through psychic surgery with no anesthesia. And that's in part because I went back to graduate school. I was already in my 30s. I had already had a relatively successful career, but in my career, I already knew that there was a values disconnect because as a finance professional, I was engaged in a process of making rich people richer. And it was inconsistent with a lot of what I was doing in international finance was inconsistent with my core values. And every time I was really good at it, though, because I was smart. And every time I wanted to quit, I got promoted. So it already took me a lot, and I was depressed by the time I actually left that career. Not because I wasn't successful. In fact, it was because I was successful. So nowadays, people would say the life that I went through was full of developmental trauma. It was traumatic for me in so many ways because there were so much of that socialization and acculturation and so forth was inconsistent with who I believed myself to be and the kind of person I wanted to be on the planet.
So what you're really saying is, if you really were trained at a younger age to understand this intuitive gut feeling
And to value it.
And value it. That's a great
point.
point.
Live from that place.
Great point.
So on the other hand, now as I look back, I go, Robin, you went through this experience because my work has been to work with other people who are often very successful because they have complied with the external expectations, and they are miserable inside because they've left their own inner knowing.
Okay.
And that's what I do, is that I help people have impact and be more successful in their lives, reconnect with their core and their values. And I can talk about that process and how hard it is because I went through it. And I know that it's not easy when everybody out there, so to speak, is telling you this is what success is. This is how to connect to people.
Right.
This is how you're going to earn money. This is how you're going to get that position. You have to do this for your kids and your family. I know those pressures. I felt them all.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
So I have incredible compassion for the journey and how challenging it can be.
But it doesn't have to be that way. And what you know now.
It doesn't. And it's great to now work with young people. I work with now is awesome, you know, because I can help them. But I can tell you, in doing the work that I do, I encounter people, young people still, who, you know, their parents are drugging them because they won't comply with the rules and regulations of the school system, or like
a very old school system that really needs to change, as everybody is aware of.
Yes.
Or many are.
Exactly. But the point is that we come here and we've got to figure out, when we are here, how to express the unique, cosmic, creative, individual designed to contribute to this planet and everything that we come here to be.
And to do it while we are in our Zen state, that peaceful state. And
Well,
this is the balance.
To remember that. So I think you have tools and teachers on the planet who help us remember. So the Zen state, for me, the path of the householder, the path of the person who can be in the world and still be in peace.
Oh, that's powerful.
Is not an easy path.
It's a path, in my experience, of being the observer, really observing and being so truthful to yourself, so honest to yourself, and taking the steps that match your truth.
And the thing is that sometimes you are served by the experiences that don't match your truth.
True.
To help you remember or do the work or have the courage to go for what is your truth.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of our lives fighting what we don't want, but it takes courage and awareness and compassion and creativity to articulate what we do want and then go for that.
And a great teacher once said to me, when you know what you're not, then you know what you are.
What I would say is that many people spend their entire lives with what they're not, but they don't necessarily have tools, guidance, permission to check in with what they are. That is actually the second part.
Yeah.
And being born into the situation I was in, I'm surrounded by people who are very clear and about what they're not. And they fight against what they're not.
Right.
Whether it's cancer, whether it's racism, whether it's whatever you want to call it. People are busy battling against what they're not. So they've got a lot of energy on the no, but they haven't turned
take some of that power.
Where their yes is.
Exactly.
Where's your yes?
This is why I have such a great mission and passion for the Zen Den, because the Zen is the state of inner peace. The Den is your home.
That's right.
Your body. This is your home.
That's right.
Yeah.
I believe we were born with the information that we need, everything we actually need to have the perfect, amazing experience on the planet that we want to have. And that experience includes playfulness, peace, love, joy, truth. We have all of it.
I hear that. And when there's listeners who come from challenging backgrounds,
as did I,
challenging homes,
as did I,
different diversity lifestyle,
as did I.
And so it takes that courage. It takes that courage to look and the courage to stand up for yourself.
Exactly. And courage, the word courage comes from the French word cœur, which means heart.
Oh, lovely. Right? Thank you.
So when we connect back, in my case, the gut connects me to my heart, right? Coming back to that design. When I go there, then I remember.
Wow. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie.
I really appreciate this time with you. It's so dear. And I know many will love your insight and experience of just sharing your truth. It's very powerful for us to just share our truth, because you get to see part of you in me and part of me in you. And we're like, oh, yeah, I get that. I'm like that too. I might not have the darker skin, but I felt variations of that and different ways. And I have compassion for that. And Dr. Robin, how can someone find you? What's a good way to find Dr. Robin Johnson?
Actually, that's a good way to find me, because my website is drrobinjohnson.com. But it's just Dr. Robin. Johnson.
Thank you.
.com.
Yeah.
And on that site, you'll see how to connect with me. You'll also be able to download a lot of free things from my teaching that I taught through the years in leadership development.
Yep.
And then also there are a lot of free videos from my dance practice. So you've got those options.
Okay.
At this phase of my life in the connection, I am doing human design, tarot. I've developed my own tarot deck, so called the Divine Feminine Tarot. Okay. So I do tarot readings. And then I also connect with people around all those assessments I've done around coaching, intuitive coaching.
And let's just take a moment and just settle in, like you said, and we'll just really just take that conscious breath when we breathe in, and we relax the body and breathe out, and just may all this information and beautiful wisdom that has been shared in this episode really settle into your system and help to ignite that truth within you. And all of us are blessed, and let's take these blessings out into the world. Thank you so much for being here.
Peace and blessings to you.
And blessings to you too.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Blessings to you. May you all be well, and join us again. Namaste.
Thank you for listening to the Zen Den with your host, Maggie Calder. We hope this episode has provided you with a moment of peace in your busy day. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with someone who could use a little love today. To learn more about Maggie's offerings, visit thezenden.world or email us at thezendenworld@gmail.com. You will find us on all the social media platforms too. In kindness from all of us at the Zen Den, be well.
This podcast was made with love from Shikonomi and the global community of Podcast Hers.